Hi everyone, it's been a while, but I'm going to do my August and September tag roulette all in one video. So I'm going to start with sheath stitch. I'm using a thick thread. I'm using all 6 strands. Three lines. Not a difficult stitch. Quite like it. I don't know if this is the exact way to do it, but this is how I've ended up adapting it. Just missed one bit there. So 3 lines together, come under the side, and this one you're going to come down so that they all pull close together, like a little stack of wheat, or bows, if that's what you prefer to think they look like. So there's a couple of little sheath stitches. Alright, so I just, I would suggest, I've made, done some tatting. I've done a kind of a variegated picot tat. Looks like a little squash fly. But here it is, and I suggest you watch someone else doing it. If you're right-handed, watch someone else. If you're left-handed, you might as well just go straight to watch Anne doing it, because I didn't do it on camera. I was watching Anne doing it so I could remember, because it had been a while. And I'm just going to put it here. These this box of threads have all been beautifully labelled by someone else in Tasmania. This was the ladies, got the grandma stash, and beautifully labelled and organised. And I am just going to put that bit of tatting on. I might make some more off camera. I feel like I'm just racing a bit to just get this done, this video done, to get onto my other big project. Okay. And this was the needle I used for the tatting. My little flower threader. I think it would be good to have a few of these. So what I mean by variegated picots was that I would do 1 stitch forward and backwards, and then I would leave a little gap and crush it together. Then do 1 stitch forward and backwards and then leave a little gap. But I wasn't measuring the sizes of the gaps. If you wanted it to be really uniform, you would maybe stick your finger in between each gap to get a uniform size, but I didn't want it. I wanted it to look more interesting. Like a squashed fly. All right, tatting. Coming to you from Christina's craft room. Squashed flies. Okay, so I have this little bit of stuff. I'm pretty sure Jeanette sent me this, so I feel like it had enough of the orange palette that I was going for. Well, I started out with a white palette and got carried away. I wanted to make it all white. I think I'll use some of this same that I've used for the tatting. So this is a gift. I might make it even a little bit smaller, but it's bringing a little bit of green in, which matches nicely with the buttons. All right, I know we've done couching before, but putting this on is just a reminder of the wonderful swaps I've done with people along the time, the last couple of years, hopefully still more in the future. Okay, Christina, put a knot in it. This is going to complete August. Couching. Couch that. Should probably do a little bit of a more fancy couching. I should. Hate that word. No, I shouldn't. I'm just going to couch it normally. There's no should in art or craft. There's just do. Oh, keep missing it. Come on. Oh my, it's such fun. Except when your thread comes out the needle. Rethread it. So how is everyone today? Well, I'm recording this at lunchtime before our grand final football game. I'll probably, I'll see if I have time to edit. If I do, I'll get it up tonight or tomorrow. So Huss is going to come over. We're going to watch the game. I'm going to make a lamb shank, a Lebanese lamb shank dish, which is made with lamb shanks, tomatoes, potato, onion in the slow cooker. And when you serve it, so you make it a bit more stew-like, I think I might have mentioned it before, but when you serve it, you put in like a flatbread or something in the bottom of the bowl, and then you serve the stew, and so the bread goes all delicious and yummy and gooey. delicious. So that's what I'm making for late lunch. So Huss will come probably just at the very start of the game, I imagine, because he'll work up until then. And then we will chill out, and it'll be interspersed with me racing off to feed all the cats in the meantime. No, I'll probably feed the closest one at half or 3/4 time, depending on how exciting the game is, and then do the others after. And then I'll be able to hand in 1 key tonight. For those of you who've been following along with the cat feeding scenarios, I'll tell you what, I had so many people requesting bookings tonight. Dog feeding, sitting overnight, and I was just like, no, today's already planned. People should ask me earlier, I reckon. All right, so we've got sheaf stitch, something gifted from a friend, and a little bit of a woven picot tatting. And now September. Okay, so September, wrapped rings. I couldn't find my little tiny rings. I found lots of other things though, which was pretty exciting, that I didn't know where they were. So that was good. It's basically a blanket stitch over the edge. Now, if you're wondering why I've got lots of loose ends, it's because my thread wasn't long enough and I had to add in another one. It just adds to the design. I'm not so fussed about it. Basically, doing a blanket stitch over the edge. All the way around. I guess it's up to you if you want to pull it tight or have it loose. All right, so I'm coming to the end, and this is what I mean. You can either really squeeze them up really tight, or you could just have them loose if you wanted to see a bit of metal through. It's up to you. I'm going to squeeze it relatively tight, I think. Gets a bit twisted as you keep going. So what I like to do is just untwist it a bit. And then as you get to the end, I've got a bit of end there, so that's good. A bit of my embroidery floss left over. Just try to fit in a couple of extras to really squeeze that in tight. It does get a bit fiddly when it gets a bit curly-whirly. So I can take my end. I'm just going to have a look, make sure they're relatively all one way. So you want to try and have your outside edge all the way around. I know I've got that extra bit there, and I'll have these extra bits here. I don't mind. It's about the doing, not the perfection. Also, I can thread these up and put them through to the back. Maybe we need one ring to rule them all here, the gold ring. I'm just going to come in. I'm very forgetful with my knots today. I come in. Do I want these hanging down a bit? Maybe. I just want to get the placement about there, I think. Just going to do a little couch over the top. And every so often, if I run out, I can always utilise one of these if I want to. Which is what I'm going to have to do. That's not too long. And on the back I'm just doing a double and then threading it through twice. So this is what I mean. This is a long one. Just going to couch this little bit down. And I think I will thread those other ones to the back. So these will be threaded back and through. All right, so that's the ring wrapped. Okay, so the other two for September are layers with running stitch and a heart. So it was layers on a square. I think what I'll do, this is golden. This is just golden. So here's going to be my square. Oh no, that's just wrong. I'll be back. I've got to find something that works. Okay, this is better. I have cut a heart out of a little bit of old tea towel and I've put it on top of the gold and then I've cut this away so it's still layers on a square and a heart, and I just have to do running stitch, and this little area does need something anyway, so let's pin this on. Right, what colour? Let's have a look in the up the back of the book stash and see if there's something that works. That works. Maybe it's a bit too samey. Maybe we need something new. What about this? It's a sort of a tan colour. Keeping in line with the slightly autumn theme. just do 2 threads, and this is relatively short. That's what happens when you try to use up your bits and pieces. It's relatively short, and so I'll have to, I'm pretty sure I'll have to do a rethread at some point. Ross has just let me know he's coming an hour earlier than expected, so now I'm really under the pump because I haven't started anything, of course, because that's how I roll. Oh, running stitch. Well, that's pretty easy, isn't it? Running stitch. I should have used a longer needle. Longer needle for more speed. Shouldn't be rushing. I've just got so much on. Oh, so much to do. So many learning new things. So much research, having to buy a few extra bits and bobs. So as I said in the last video, the last Roxy's Journal of Stitchery, I'm going to do a scratch build project, and I've never done one before, so whenever there's a new project, always it's requiring the odd new bit of material. I don't know if I said this, maybe I've already said this in the video, but I did buy a hot wire cutter for some foam. That's what I bought. Give it a go. Give something new a go. I find these year-long projects, you start off really, really strong and it's really enjoyable, but like this one, I was 2 months behind because I was deciding to do a whole room makeover. It's nice to have a new project, I think. I like that idea. Right. Cast that off after to save time. Can do those things later, off camera. So I'm just noticing, you know, sometimes we double up with these projects because this was actually a gift from Natalie as well. So for August, I already have a couple of gifts on here from people. That was a gift from Lily, the driftwood wrapped around. And I'm glad there's still a little bit because I really would like to fill up down this bottom bit. This was the, everything else is interesting and intricate, but this bit was kind of a bit bare. So even though I was putting a square bit underneath here, I'm now finding that because I've decided to come outside of the heart with my running stitch, it's creating a squarer background. Sort of. Okay, getting there. So I wonder what everyone else is going to do with their tag roulette things from the year. I will frame mine in some way. Not sure how. Okay, so we've managed to do all that finished. So a wrapped ring, a heart, and running stitch on a square. Well, with this whole project, of course, someone's doing some stuff out there, out the window. this whole project, you can of course take one aspect and repeat it somewhere else. So this is where I am for now. Here, here, here. Right. See you in October for the tag roulette. Bye for now.